Yeah, we talk about the deep state. We talk about the globalists. Inflation versus deflation.
Well, I mean,
you're at Mar-a-Lago.
I'm baffled that this isn't front page news.
Do you guys support a specific political party, or do you dislike both of them?
Oh, it worked like a charm on you guys.
Let's go, Brandon.
What is up, everybody? All right, first and foremost, do me a favor and let me know if the audio is working, because as you can see, we're moving on up in the world because I am in a new set right now. All right. Self-confirmation. I'm listening. We are good to go. All right. So what's up, guys? What is up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, sorry about the late start. We had some technical difficulties troubleshooting the new setup on the fly, but I dig it, and I might just be able to go back to doing every night of the week with this new setup. So without any further ado, big focal point tonight is going to be this signal thing. I got to give all the credit to Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck put out a freaking banger today. He did a whole deep dive on what exactly looks like is going on with this signal thing. It looks like the freaking CIA might have hacked into this thing and leaked the information to this Atlantic journalist, and now they're trying to throw a whole hissy fit saying that, like, oh, it was reckless on their part, it's their fault, this, and that. So I'm going to give you a rundown on what exactly happened with the signal thing, and then we're going to get into a deeper conversation. We're going to get into a deeper conversation about how the CIA has gained and lost power over the years and exactly how much power they should have. Because, I mean, I'm somebody who, at first, when I was young and innocent, just a teenager, thinking about what I wanted to do in the world, I wanted to be part of the CIA. I was going to school to be part of the CIA because, I mean, it seemed like they did some cool stuff, and it seemed like, it was a pretty sweet setup if you could get yourself in on the CIA, and, the world's your oyster at that point. But, for all the sick, twisted things they did, like when I was young and innocent, I said, hey, you know what? At least I think they're doing what's in the best interest of the country. But that was the point in which I said, oh, nope, not the thing for me, because for all the power they have, they definitely don't seem to be acting in the best interest of the country. And, you have to ask yourself, what exactly is the agenda that they're going for? I mean, we're reading this book right now in the Forbidden Book Society on the Minnect Circle group, which is awesome, by the way. All you guys should join it. Just ask the guys in the chat. I know a lot of them are in it right now, but we're going through, like, the more things you look into, like the CIA is connected to every scandal, just like the banks are connected to every scandal, just like organized crime's connected to every scandal. And they're all working with each other since World War II. It's freaking crazy. I mean, if like they don't answer to anybody, they're not accountable. And even, like, the crazy thing too is that you have rogue elements within the CIA. Like, for example, what's his name? CIA director John Ratcliffe testified the other day in response to the signal thing, and he says, first day on the job, that tech people from the CIA came into his office and just start installing signal on all of his devices. Okay, so didn't even have a choice. And then Tulsi comes out and says that signal is pre-installed on government-issued cell phones. So this was not always the practice. I mean, signal was only created 12 years ago. Yeah, about 12, 13 years ago. It was created in 2012. And we'll talk about who exactly was created and who was created by it in just a minute. But this thing, it's a mandatory requirement now to be on government phones. This is just as of last year, the Biden administration put this into effect. And guess who told them to do it? You ever heard of something called CISA? Very, very bad agency. So let me get this right. So it stands for, I did not write down what CISA stands for. So it's the Cyber Infrastructure Security Agency, I think. Let me double check that. CISA is, Cyber Security and Infrastructure Security Agency. Yep, nailed it. So they advised the Biden administration, like, hey, we're living in a world of increased threat to cybersecurity, and, China could do this, Russia could do that. So we advise you guys to have end-to-end encryption on all of your devices, because that's the safest way to make sure that nobody can hack into what you're doing. But the problem with that is that it's a little something called the WikiLeaks Vault 7 which was released in March 2017. It said explicitly that a vast array of CIA hacking tools and techniques exist among the revelations, and they detailed methods that the CIA used to compromise devices running these apps, allowing them to capture data before encryption data is applied. So it like beats the encryption data to it. Okay. Okay. Hang with me. So Signal, or excuse me, when Mike Waltz was testifying, because Mike Waltz is the one catching all the heat for this, he was saying that when he was sending this message out, the person that he clicked on, the contact and the number that he clicked on was not what it appeared to be. So he clicked on, say it was JD Vance. Clicking on JD Vance, it says his name, says his number, but it ended up going to this Jeff Goldberg journalist. So whoever was doing this literally had the ability to make a contact look and seem as if it was something that it wasn't, because these guys didn't even have Jeff Goldberg's number. So it appears that allegedly, let's play safe word, that the CIA rogue elements backdoored their way into this thing and swapped out like somebody that's a trusted cabinet member's contact with Jeff Goldberg's contact and literally snuck him into the group. So it all makes a lot more sense now, right? Because, I mean, I don't know why people are pushing Signal as like a trusted source. We did an episode about this several months ago comparing Telegram, Signal, and WhatsApp, and they each have a problem. I mean, like if you're not within the government, Telegram was probably the best because it didn't have anything to do with the U.S. government, but that probably is different now because you remember the CEO for Telegram got pretty much captured and held hostage in France a couple months ago, and it seems like he gave them what they wanted in order to get out of that. But Signal, straight up built by the government, basically. So listen to this. So Signal was developed by Maxi Marlinspike and Stuart Anderson through Open Whisper Systems, which later became part of the Signal Foundation, a nonprofit founded in 2018 with significant funding from Brian Acton. Now, this group here, they got government funding. Like it was started with government grants. It's a nonprofit, so it was built with government money. Let me see here. I saved that part right here because I stashed it away. Here we go. So here we go. Don't have that part, but yeah. So like this thing was built on the back of government contracts, all right, and then released documents say that the CIA has the ability to get into it and intercept it before it becomes encrypted. So there's nothing safe about this, and the fact that rogue elements within the CIA can do this to the new director of the CIA. So you could have rogue elements within the CIA working against the director of the CIA, against the president of the United States. So who exactly is calling these shots within the CIA? And ask that rhetorically, because there's always been rogue elements of the CIA, like back to the Kennedy days, or even with this book that we're going through right now, there was like all these rogue groups. One of them was called, what was it, like AF 157. The other one was called the, something with like the Tropical Crew or something like that. The freaking book talks about it. So like there's always been these rogue elements within it, and like they seems like they know exactly how to evade the law, right? And I mean, like the question is, like we know all the bad things that the CIA has done, but like, can we name any good things? And like, that's kind of a sincere question I'm opening up to the chat. Like, can we name a good thing, like a W for the CIA? Because they claim that we would just shrivel up and die without them. And I mean, yeah, you probably do need an intelligence apparatus since every other country has one, but like, when is the last time the CIA has been working in our best interest? Right? And I know Trump put out the whole buyout offer to them saying like, yeah, we'll buy out the next 8 months of your salary right now if you don't like what I'm doing and you want to leave. And they're talking about this initiative to focus more on South America and Mexico instead, in China, instead of Russia and everything. But like a lot of things, I don't know if that's quite aggressive enough. Because another thing Glenn Beck was talking about today is that there was a version of USAID before the CIA, or excuse me, before USAID started. Like the thing that was canceled by JFK was followed by USAID. So that's why everybody was saying like, oh wow, JFK was the one who started USAID. That was a result of him canceling the original USAID that the CIA was using. So after he cancels that, starts USAID with good intentions, the CIA just burrows its way into the USAID. So it's like they're like a parasite that just digs its way into anything that is there for the taking. And I mean, geez, like the magnitude to which they've wreaked hell on us, guys. Like I always talk about Operation Gladio, where they literally worked with the mafia and the Vatican to flood black neighborhoods in America with drugs in order to fund their covert operations, and like all under the guise of like, oh, we have to fight communism, so we like whatever we have to do, we have to find a way to fund these operations, even if it means just wreaking havoc on certain demographics and cities within our own country. So now we have to ask the legit question, like, are they fighting in favor of communism, or are they still fighting against communism? What exactly is the CIA fighting for right now? We know that they've armed rebels in Syria. We know they've armed rebels in Libya. We know they've armed rebels basically in Ukraine with all these color revolutions. So, like, and a lot of people out here are really trying to hate on me for calling Trump out in certain areas or calling Elon Musk out in certain areas. And like, I don't give a shit about it. Like, if you want to listen to somebody who just says exactly what you want to hear, you could go to Benny Johnson. But I'd love 80% of what Trump is doing. I'm deeply thankful that the man is in office. Like, we're in a much better position. What he's doing with tariffs is so badly needed. We talked about earlier this week how the country's just been gutted. Like, the middle class has been decimated. The lower class has exceeded the middle class in income growth over the last 20 years. And obviously, the top 1% is like far exceeded the middle and lower classes since 1970, especially since 2001, when we first allowed China to start participating in international trade, and then when we let them into the World Trade Organization. Like, so tariffs badly needed, but I'm not going to just sit around and be a cheerleader for Trump all day. Like, there is certain areas where I think he's not being aggressive enough, because you get one shot at this thing. He keeps talking about having another term, but like, don't treat this term like you're that like you're running for a second term, Trump, because you get one shot at this thing. Like, I don't know, who knows? Maybe something crazy will happen, and he'll do so good that people want him to have a third term. But like, don't treat this thing like you're taking half measures because you don't want to go too crazy and piss people off and not get elected another time, because there's a monster that needs to be slain. And a big part of that are these rogue elements of the CIA. Like, they've always been there. They're still very much there today. If they're setting up the director to be, basically cyber hacked, because that's what happened. Like, pretty much beyond any reasonable doubt, that's what happened with the Signal thing. Like, the CIA or one of these rogue agencies straight up infiltrated the conversation and leaked it to one of their, trusted press members. And they're trying to do this whole song and dance that how it was them being sloppy or irresponsible. And another thing, like, call things out when they become obvious. Like, how is it that Glenn Beck is able to, expose this thing in 2 days, and Trump isn't out there blatantly calling it out? And like, again, I don't care if you think I'm being too hard on Trump. Like, maybe I am, but if like, there's no good in just being a cheerleader for him 24/7, because he's like, the less he does to things like this, like the less harder he comes down on it, the more he's at danger. Rule 14 of the 48 laws of power: crush your enemies totally. Has he done that yet? Has he crushed his enemies totally? No, they're still very much there. They're still very much a threat. And perfect example, case in point, they're undermining him where they have the opportunities to. So I think we need like a serious internal audit of the CIA. Like, maybe it's run by what's the guy's name? This new guy's name, John Ratcliffe. I mean, don't know a lot about John Ratcliffe, but I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. All right, blah, blah, blah. Giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving John Ratcliffe the benefit of the doubt. Okay, so I think there's like 24,000 people in the CIA right now. I just looked it up before, the growth of this thing. So it's a pretty serious amount of people. What do we have? We had 1950 starts off a few thousand. By 2020, by 2003, 17,000, 2013, 21,000, 2023, between 24 and 28,000. Now, we don't know how many people accepted the buyout offer, but I don't think it was a substantial amount. And, it might be classified. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I feel like he's holding back in some regards. Am I crazy? Let's see what's going on in the chat. Because I don't want to leave anything on the table. That's the thing. I don't want to leave anything on the table. TJ says, love Trump, vote for Trump, but he needs to check his ego. All right, elaborate on that. I mean, I agree with you in some regards. Like, what do you think his ego is stopping him from doing? Because I almost think he's being a little bit tepid with some things. Like, I'm bummed out that he doesn't want to end the Fed. But at the very least, like, start talking about it. Start saying, like, hey, these guys, this isn't a government agency, and these guys have a lot of power, and they don't have a lot of respect for the U.S. president. They don't have a lot of respect for Congress. They don't have a lot of respect for the American people. Dennis DeCampo says, yeah, I believe some lefty Democrat piece of crap doing that thing. Yeah, or some rogue agents in the CIA, like guys, the freaking CIA, they act like it got reined in a big way in the 70s when so after they got busted with all the assassination stuff with the church committee and everything, Jimmy Carter tried to rein it in and cut a lot of their funding, and then Reagan screwed it up to a degree by kind of letting them get back their power through NGOs, and then we're in that whole mess today. Like, I think the National Endowment for Democracy started under Reagan, which is the single-handed thing that did the coup against the Ukrainian president that was closer with Russia than it was with the United States. Steve Heed, they're one the same. Who's one the same? Martin says, CIA, my assets, Israel. Wow. Yeah, I mean, like, Steve's right, though. It's like CIA, Mossad, and MI6. I think, like, they're all one and the same, guys. I mean, would you disagree with that? You think CIA, Mossad, Israel are different agencies? I mean, this is why Whitney Webb's books are so important, because, you think of these things like, oh, it's this person. Oh, it's that person. But no, same with JFK. Like, I think it was a network that agreed that he had to go. It was the mafia. It was the CIA. It was probably the Mossad. It was probably the military-industrial complex. It was probably LBJ to some degree. Probably the Federal Reserve. Probably the oil tycoons. So I think it's more than just one. Same thing with right now. I think there's more than just one rogue element pushing us in a certain direction. Yeah, James. Yeah. I'm not a fan of Pam Bondi either. I mean, even with the Tesla stuff, even with the bombing of the Tesla cars and all that, like, she's talking the talk, but have we seen anybody like be made an example of yet? What's up, Texas woman? They all partied at Little St. James together. Who is that? Who partied at Little St. James together? Hi says CIA, Mossad, MI6, NATO nerds, wakey. Yeah, I'm with it. New Era says, just got here. What did I miss? So I basically outlined how it came out that the signal thing, long story short, it's a requirement that when you get a government phone that you have Signal pre-installed on the phone. That's a new thing as of 2024, required, or I guess advised by CISA, the Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, which was like a demonic force that was started under the Biden administration that was solely responsible for all the censorship and censoring stuff that we saw online. Like, that was their job, to censor people. So that's the group that's telling our government that you should use Signal to communicate. And then let me know if the audio goes out. I keep hearing some pops and crackles in this thing. So then after that happens, Mike Waltz says that he was messaging somebody, and their contact information did not appear like as it actually was. So this guy Jeff Goldberg, he's the one who intercepted the texts from the Signal group, right? And so it's like, say he was trying to text JD Vance. It said JD Vance and then JD Vance's number on the Signal app. Goes to send it to him. Turns out it's Jeff Goldberg. How's that happen? Well, the Vault 7 WikiLeaks revealed that the CIA has multiple ways to intercept the data from things like Signal and WhatsApp and Telegram before it gets encrypted. So they're way ahead of this thing. And there's government funding behind the creation of Signal. So Signal is basically built and funded by the government. I mean, through a proxy, of course. You know, these two guys say they started a nonprofit, but it was built with government money. So that's what you missed, New Era. And then I was talking about how, you know, open question, has the CIA ever done something good that we know about? Because we know about a lot of bad things, and they claim that they stop a lot of bad things from happening, but we don't know a whole lot about it. And they say, oh, that's because it's a matter of national security. We can't tell you about that. But you know, it would be nice to at least hear some good stories about like why we need the CIA. Like I get it. I know we need an intelligence agency because everybody else has one, but I don't know. Give us something, man. It's like I could name hundreds of negative things the CIA has done. And the positive things, like in theory, yeah, you can make up the hypothetical scenario of like, oh yeah, I can imagine them stopping this from happening. Oh yeah, I'm sure that like the Patriot Act and them intercepting our data and looking at everything we do stops a lot of things, but we don't really know for sure. And you know, when you really look at it, has there ever been a genuine organic terrorist attack that wasn't faked by the government? Like Pearl Harbor was faked by the government. 9/11 seems like they either allowed it to happen or they did it themselves. What else we got? The Boston Marathon thing. It seems like what the FBI's were just watching those guys and like in contact with them allegedly. You know, the Unabomber. The Unabomber was groomed by the CIA. Who else was there? The Oklahoma City bomber. A lot of weird stuff there. The Las Vegas thing, very weird stuff. So yeah, I don't know. It seems as if like they have been responsible for more terrorist attacks happening rather than ones they've stopped. But they claim there's just this giant infinite list of things that they've stopped and that we should be thankful that they're there keeping their watchful eyes on us. But I don't know, guys. We're going in a weird direction. Like I talked about Palantir in my Palantir episode. Like I don't think it's a coincidence that like right after 9/11 happened, there's this what the hell is it called? This big long acronym name, like this total information awareness program that the intelligence agencies tried to propose, and Congress is like, whoa, the hell no, that's a freaky, scary notion right there. We can't be doing that. And Congress shut it down. But then a month later, good old Palantir gets started, and it basically does the same thing that the total information awareness thing wanted to do. And well, I'm on that topic. I mean, this is all freaking just gold that I'm finding in Whitney Webb's book, One Nation Under Blackmail. You know, ask the guys in the group. I know Alan Greenspan's in there. I know Steve P is in there. We got Aaron in there. A lot of the guys from here and there, and I appreciate that. But I'm also, you know, like grinding every night to get you guys. Like what I do in there is I give like a 5 to 10 minute breakdown of each chapter every night, so that you can kind of know exactly what the book's about without having to read it. Because I know it's like 40 hours worth of audiobook, and I get that not most people have the time to do that. So I try to make it as efficient for you as possible. Get the information from the book into your head in like 5 to 10% of the time. So anyway, what I was going to say is they had this thing called Main Core, the Main Core program, which it kept track of up to 8 million people in the United States. And this is back in the 90s that it did this. It had a database with 8 million people in it that could be deemed potentially hostile in a martial law type of scenario. Guys, shit you not. They had a thing where like 8 million, I guess, what they would consider hostile people, like it would probably today be like MAGA patriotic people. They would deem them like a threat to national security in a state of martial law. So they have this database of people they classify as like a threat. So that's not very good. I mean, man, I could talk about like, I could literally talk about like one chapter of that book for 3 hours straight, because it's just like so freaking dense with mind-blowing stuff. I put out an episode today about it. What it if you didn't see it, it starts off with the director of the CIA telling young Bill Clinton, quote, "If you don't F up and do something stupid, you're number one on the short list to have the job that you've always wanted. You and people like you are the future leaders of this country." Right. And then Bill Barr comes out and says that Arkansas was the greatest asset to the CIA in the 1980s and 1970s and 80s. And who's seen American Made in here, the movie American Made with Tom Cruise? If you haven't, you should. It's a great movie. Basically a documentary on what was happening down in Arkansas in the 1980s. I mean, you got this guy who's a phenomenal pilot who gets spoken to by the CIA and says, like, hey, you want to stop doing commercial flights and fly some drugs down to South America and fly some coke up to the United States, and you could do it all through this place called Mena, Arkansas, because it's in the middle of nowhere. And he's like, yeah, sure, it sounds lucrative. And it ends with him getting gunned down by either the cartel or the CIA. But man, like the freaking the absence of accountability these people have is amazing. Like the Clintons, they literally like did scam after scam after scam, like wreaked havoc on these people in Arkansas. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, and then man, I don't know if you guys are gonna like this one. Man, I don't even know if I want to tell this one. Like it's almost like saying that Santa's not real. So Reagan, our boy Reagan, there's some weird stuff about him in this book. And like, with the receipts, like the least of it is that he was helped out by the mafia, not only in his acting career, but into getting into office. And, the mafia on its own doesn't sound that bad. 'Cause it's like, oh, okay, sure. Like, you had the mafia help him, whatever. But when you find out that the mafia was good friends with the intelligence agencies and that they were part of this whole blackmail network and like basically siphoning off tax dollars from the American people, then that's not so good. That's not so good. And then the Franklin cover up, the sick, twisted shit that was going on in Omaha, Nebraska in the 80s. Like, I don't know if you heard of that before. It's really dark thing. It was like this pedo network of elite politicians that like they're running it through Omaha, Nebraska, just in the middle of nowhere, and getting these kids from this place called Boys Town in Omaha, Nebraska. It was like one of the biggest biggest orphanages in the country. And yeah, this was all going on like during Reagan's time in office, and like they're literally having like these kids brought to certain people within his administration, allegedly. I mean, gotta say allegedly, because even with Whitney Webb being a world-class investigator, you gotta say allegedly to be safe. But she's got the receipts in the book, and like I hate to stumble across that stuff. It's really, really disappointing to see that your heroes might have participated in this stuff. And yeah, and like I don't think that Reagan himself was into any of the worst of it, but you get Bill Barr being appointed attorney general right after Reagan's administration when George Bush is in office, George Bush Sr., and he basically sweeps it all under the rug, sweeps the stuff with the Clintons under the rug, sweeps the stuff with the Promise software under the rug with like the octopus murders, which is a real crazy thing too. Like this Promise software, if you've never heard of it, there's a Netflix documentary on it, but it's kind of an annoying documentary because it talks about the guy's effort, like this journalist's effort who got killed trying to uncover these things, but he had no idea the labyrinth that he was getting into of like how high this thing went up. Like the guy literally put himself in debt trying like $100,000 trying to uncover this thing. But you get Bill Barr as your attorney general to sweep this all under the rug. And then why does Trump make Bill Barr as attorney general in 2018? And it's kind of weird that Epstein dies in 2019 and Bill Barr just coincidentally, conveniently, is the attorney general during 2019. That worked out. But something I'm really going back and forth with a lot with people at work and, friends and family and all that. It's like, they're like, oh, why you like keep talking about this like Trump and Epstein thing? Just let Trump do his thing. And I'm like, you want me to just talk about boring shit all the time? No, I'm curious about it. What? Like, there's something there. That's literally why I started reading this whole One Nation Under Blackmail series, because I just recorded an episode this week after, talking about a long time about Trump and Epstein and their relationship. And I mean, like, weird stuff that Trump did in the 80s in regards to like buying certain places that were affiliated with certain things. But there's certain people here that are telling me, "Oh, I shouldn't release this video." So like, one school of thought is like, "Oh, it's going to piss off the viewers." And I'm like, "I don't give a shit, guys. Like if I could, if I wanted to have 1 million subscribers within a couple months, like, yeah, I'd know exactly what to say. I could just like say everything everybody wants to hear and that'd be popular and it'd be trending and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that'll make me feel good to listen to. Let me click on that." But no, like I'm not going after the zombies, guys. Like I'm going after people who are curious about things, who want to really understand things. Cause I mean, I just can't help it. Like I'm curious about things. Like, sorry, my bad. I want to understand things that don't make sense. And it didn't at first make sense to me why Trump wasn't releasing the Epstein files. And that, so I had to look into it. I'd had to do it. And now it makes a little bit more sense. I've narrowed it down, the reasons. It might be bad. It might not be that bad. It might still be strategic and like everything might be okay. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. I mean, it's gonna come down to one factor really in the end, whether or not I release this thing. But let me know what you think. I mean, what do you think? You want to see this thing, or do you want to like hide from the truth? Because it's funny. As I've been releasing this, like last week actually, when I released the Elon Musk episode, like saying what he might actually mean by dark MAGA, like 200 people unsubscribed, which I thought that's hilarious. Like what, you see something that annoys you and you unsubscribe? Like I'm literally subscribed to every Democrat, like big Democrat podcast out there, because I want to hear what the other people are saying. Like what, you see something you don't like and you unsubscribe from it, like that's pretty weak. I can't imagine wanting to be in an echo chamber constantly. All right, well, I spoke for a while. Let's see what everybody's saying. Kevin Coleman says, "Want to see, but not yet." Yeah, text woman. That's right. Ignorance is not bliss. It's ignorance. I know they're all in on it, Alan. I know. You called it. Common sense questions every American writes. I know. Is that supposed to be MAGA or is it supposed to be mega? Oh, I. That's funny. I get it. Listen to your fearlessness. I know, Mike. I have to listen to the rebel spirit with whatever consequences may come. My cousin deleted me because I laughed at her comment. Jasmine Crockett running for president. Don't feel bad. I know exactly. How about that, Jasmine Crockett? I mean, I think that takes away the ability for Democrats to ever get mad or outraged about somebody saying something offensive again. Like you're gonna let that one slide, but you're gonna get mad about somebody like misgendering a tranny. That's rich. Yeah, Greenspan. I know. Patrick, I respect people who like La La Land. I respect people who like La La Land, and I like Reality Land. Okay. Exactly, Denise. I know, and that's why we get along well, because we're both one and the same like that word. Maybe like they say curiosity killed the cat. They say curiosity killed the cat. I get it. Sometimes asking too many questions isn't a good thing. And like I've freaking been to Mar-a-Lago before and I could go again, but I'm not thinking in terms of that. Like maybe I should be. Maybe it's stupid that I'm not thinking that way, but I don't know. Like I feel like I wouldn't be able to it just wouldn't feel right to like not know the answer to this, right? Like I blocked it out for a long time because like I heard about this stuff a while ago, the whole like Roy Cohn network and everything, and I just kind of blocked it out all throughout the election, all throughout 2020 through 2024, because we had more pressing issues, right? But and part of the reason that I get frustrated with Trump for not coming down hard on a lot of these people is because I don't want anything bad to happen to him. Like I pray for Trump and Elon every day. Like don't get me wrong, I dearly appreciate what they're doing, and I think it's important. But the thing is, if they, it's funny because with Trump, it's like if he doesn't go all the way, that's where I would be disappointed with him. But Elon, it's like he needs to go a certain distance, but we need to reel him in after he goes a certain distance. So it's like it's two totally different things with the two of them, because Trump has one shot at this. He has a couple of years to drain the swamp and bleach it as much as he possibly can. We need him to do that. Right now, he's made some good progress in some ways, but not nearly enough. Like he's like the beast is still there. The beast is still lurking around, waiting for its opportunity to strike against them. And I don't like that. Like I don't want this to be a JFK situation because he's doing a lot of JFK things. I want him to, come down on them harder, though. I think he's trying to appease people too much. I think he's trying to appease powerful people too much. And I think he needs to, strike while he can. Like the fact that Jim Comey, James Clapper, John Brennan, is it crazy to say that they probably did something that they could get jammed up for legally? No, I don't think so. Just my opinion. But the fact that he's, at least by what we could see, not doing anything with them so far, weird. The fact that we still don't know what happened to him with the assassination attempt, weird. I really hope that they are way farther ahead of us on that behind the scenes and that they know exactly what happened and they're pursuing it. But if they're treating that like a secondary issue, that's madness to me, because those are still the people that are watching them every day. And there's still a, hierarchy that let that whole thing happen that is still around them. So yeah, I think that Trump needs to go harder against like the actual deep state, like the people who are a threat to him. And I think that I think Elon's doing a good job. I think he needs to do about 50% of what he wants to do. And when I say what he wants to do, it's not like what he's publicly saying. It's like what he probably actually wants to do, like the full extent of what he wants to do. Because, there's not a perfect solution. There's just trade-offs. So it's, terrible what we've had over the last 100 years or last 70 years. Like it's destroyed us. Like it's destroyed the middle class, destroyed a lot of people's futures, destroyed a lot of people's lives. And that's because they've, just siphoned off our tax money for bullshit. But what he wants, like this ultra efficient corporate technocracy that, looks like an episode of Black Mirror. Not crazy about that either. Because even if, let's say he's the best guy in the world, he has great intentions, it's totally pure. He wants a genuine, bright, good, happy future. Like he's not going to be in control of it forever. And so what if he creates this system and then we get some psychopath that's in control of it? So we can't just run into the slaughterhouse with a smile on our face. And I think that's what, in reality, I think a good 80% of people in the world just follow their team no matter what it does, right? And it's maybe 10% people on Democrat side, 10% people on the Republican side who are capable of, actually taking a second look at their side and saying something against what everybody else is saying and saying wait a minute, don't know if I totally see it the way that everybody else sees it with this. And I don't know, it's sorry, I have high standards for this administration, for this shot that we have here, because we came so close to losing it all, 2020 to 2024. In reality, if it wasn't for things like Joe Manchin and a few Supreme Court rulings, we could have lost it all. Think about what Joe Manchin stopped from happening, just from being that one pesky Senate vote that wouldn't pass certain things. Remember, they wanted this Inflation Reduction Act that was originally, I think they originally wanted it to be $10 trillion or something, but they worked it down to 1.5 or something. And, it's because of Joe Manchin. I would have to take a second look at it to list off all the things, but I remember Joe Manchin was a constant thorn in their side. And, they tried to have the, remember that crazy singing lady who was trying to full on censor everything? And imagine what happens without Elon Musk with the censorship stuff. We were really close to not being able to say a damn word online. So with how close we came to that, I want there to be nothing left on the table. Maybe I'm being the dumb one. Maybe, this is all part of a strategy that Trump has. It's way smarter than the way I'm thinking. Maybe he knows exactly what he's doing. maybe the people who are like all in, he's right 100% of the time. Maybe they're right, but I don't know. From what I'm seeing, I'm happy with the economic stuff. I'm happy with the immigration stuff, and just not quite there with the legal stuff. I think he could be going a lot harder at people that want to see him go away. I don't know, guys. Am I crazy for that? Am I crazy? When they say you shouldn't release it, that's when you should. I think so too. When are we going to talk about Jessica Aber? Who's Jessica Aber? Do I know that name? Let me type that in. Who's Jessica Aber? Is this like a boomer moment for me right now? Jessica Aber. Oh, the lawyer, right. Yeah, what's her deal? Here, let me pull this up for you guys. So this is the attorney general that died out of nowhere the other night, and everybody kind of glossed over it. Is this a big deal? I saw that she was like responsible for what was it, something to do with CIA cases, right? I screenshotted this the other night. So family of U.S. Attorney Jessica Aber said the federal prosecutor likely died of natural causes. Update that arrives less than a week after authorities found her dead in Virginia home. Statement, blah, blah, blah. Tremendous sorrow that, sudden passing of beloved Jessica. All right, what did she do? What did she do? What? A career federal prosecutor oversaw significant legal cases for the Justice Department, including those securing convictions for MS-13 gang leader, the former governor of Virginia, and more. Securing convictions for the former governor of Virginia. Interesting. Began a career, blah, blah, blah. Anything crazy. What the hell did I see the other night? I saw something the other night about her like being part of the like CIA prosecutions or something. Let me see quick. I think I texted this to somebody. If you guys know, help me out in the chat. What the heck was this? Where did I freaking send this text? Damn it. Here we go. Here we go. I got it. So here, I'll share the screenshot. But Jessica Aber was in charge of high-profile cases targeting CIA leaks and Russian fraud. It's from the New York Post. I just screenshotted it. Let me see if I can grab this article. I knew it. All right, so is this a big deal or not a big deal? Deal or no deal? Here we go. So this is what I came across the other day. All right. I don't know. Is this a big deal? Do you think there's something here? Do you think they whacked her? Big deal? I got you about EM. What's that mean? Did I miss something? Myocarditis, maybe. Or CIA assassination itis. I mean, if you're targeting CIA leaks and the leakers are people who are doing the leaking, and the leaking is connected to things like Signal, then I could see why somebody might want you dead. I could see it. This, along with many other things, is why I don't hang out with Clintons. Ha ha ha. I know. I know Greenspan. I mean, that one chapter in the freaking book, geez, chapter 8, the Clinton Contra and the One Nation Under Blackmail is freaking insane. Like, there's literally like 2 hours of straight Clinton crime, killing, craziness. It's madness. Like the things that these people got, like I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I am jealous of people who got tapped by the CIA at a young age. Like, I mean, ultimately, like I have a good heart. I like to believe. I think because I would feel worried about going to freaking hell if I did the things that they did, but they clearly don't care or believe in that. I mean, like you could do anything and get away with it if you're part of this. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I mean, like, yeah, there's some elements of it that are cool. Like you could straight up it's commit fraud and like it's okay. And yeah, no, we got the attorney general. We're straight. Don't worry about it. Like the level of egregious stuff. And it's really weird. Like he must have pissed them off with something because the fact that they could cover up all these layers of financial crimes and what else? Financial crimes and what is it? Murders. Yeah, the financial crimes and the murders. The fact that they cover that up for him, but they don't cover up Monica Lewinsky. What does that tell you? Does that tell you that they were just straight up done with them at a certain point? I mean, think about that. And I mean, there's rumors out there that allegedly Monica Lewinsky was like, I don't know if a full Mossad agent, but a Mossad asset because it was right around the time where Clinton was doing something that they might not have liked. I don't know. I'm just saying it's weird that they could make all these killings go away, make all these financial crimes go away, like the Whitewater thing and the like whole other myriad of it. And then this list of like 56 weird deaths, they can make that go away. Like his freaking Secretary of Commerce, for example, Ron Brown. He allegedly, so he died in a plane crash, right? Secretary of Commerce, as they're, letting China into the World Trade Organization, something super controversial that decimated our middle class, right? And we're smuggling over U.S. tech to China, right? Big no-no. Secretary of Commerce responsible for overseeing all that. This dude dies in a plane crash and is found allegedly with a bullet wound in his head, in addition to being in the plane crash. So this plane crashes, they recover the bodies. He has a bullet wound in his head, supposedly. I mean, there's some disagreement. Like the initial autopsy said that he didn't have a bullet wound in his head, but further follow-ups from like independent autopsy people say that he had a bullet wound in his head. So that's bizarre. I mean, explain that one to me. I don't know. I mean, I know one part of it, I think. But you go through the circumstance of each one, and then the famous one, what the hell is his name? Vince Foster. Vince Foster was involved with the whole Promise situation. Like what happened with Promise, that's a real crazy story. So it was basically a way to track data like across the globe. So it's this invention by this company named Inslaw, and they sell it to the Department of Defense, or they sell it to the Department of Justice, and the intelligence agencies say, hey, we could use this to track money flows across the world. Like, this is pretty sick. We could track anything. We could track legal cases. We could track money. We could track data, this, and that. Man, we can't let this company have this. We need it. So the Department of Justice stops making payments on the thing, bankrupts the company before the legal stuff gets squared away, and just takes it. And then the Mossad and the CIA both have their own version of this Promise software, and they built a backdoor into it so they could track money flows across the world. So it's good for catching money laundering and avoiding money laundering detection, which was a big goal of the intelligence agencies. I mean, their budget's like, I don't know, say they get like a $2 billion budget, the CIA. It's probably like 5% of what they actually use. It's like they just sell a shit ton of drugs and a shit ton of weapons, and it's just crazy. Like, we literally have this rogue thing that has no oversight. I mean, the evolution of it. Let's see. I wrote this down because I knew I was going to try and make this point at some point. The evolution of the CIA. You get the National Security Act 1947 creates the CIA. But it provided no dedicated congressional oversight committee, so it was completely rogue.
And then the Central Intelligence Agency Act of 1949 exempted the CIA from many usual disclosure and budgetary laws. But then it gets reined in a little bit in the 70s because, there's like these public revelations of domestic spying, coup plots, assassination attempts, et cetera, et cetera. So they require the president to report all CIA covert operations to Congress. But like, that's assuming that the president knows about everything. Like, I don't think Kennedy knew about all the covert operations of the CIA. And then you get these rogue elements within the CIA. Like, I've heard multiple directors of the CIA say they have no idea what's going on in the CIA when they're the director. So it's just like, you got these cowboys in there, like when Bush was in there, or like when Bill Barr was in there, and then Clinton allegedly was an asset of the CIA, giving them intel what was going on at college campuses when he was in college. I mean, it's freaking wild. But I don't know. It's like, how do we rein that in? Like, is there a desire to rein that in? Probably not. Like, and it's doesn't seem like there's really like a top to it. It seems like it's like a collective body of people who like exactly the way things are and want to keep it that way. Because I imagine, obviously this blob they call it, this deep state they call it, that gets bounced back from side to side between Republican and Democrat supporting. Because Bush, H.W. Bush, at one point he was kind of the face of this. And then Zbigniew Brzezinski, I think he was a Democrat. Like, he was like the face of it at another point. And today it seems like they like the Democrat side more because the Democrats are the side that wants to grow the government more. I mean, I think the biggest problem in the world is the intelligence agencies, the banks, and the stupid people who only see like 5% of the picture and then get mad at other people for trying to talk about difficult things. Let me put it in the poll. Should I release the Trump Epstein video? Let's see what you guys say. Should I release the Trump Epstein video? And by the way, if you want to know more about these crazy stories I'm talking about, like, this is all I do every night. Like, I'm literally going to record a video after this for the Forbidden Book Society on Minnect. So if you want more of that, that's where you find it. And right now I'm going to put this poll to work and see if you guys think I should release it or not. Should let me spell this right. Should I release Trump Epstein video? Hang tight, hang with me. Where the heck is this poll option? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yes or no? Yep. Poll question. Should I release the Trump Epstein video? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Like, I feel bad doing it. I mean, not that I think it's like not the point yet where I think it's gonna have like massive reverberations unless it's like the most viral video I ever had. But I don't know. Like I said, I deeply appreciate what Trump is doing in some regards, and there's still a lot of tough people coming after him, and I don't want to make that more difficult for him. But I think that a lot of the people that are coming after him would be hurt by the Epstein list coming out. So unless he would be hurt more than them, just do it. And if what it says about you is so bad, I mean, I guess just redact your freaking part and just get the job done. I mean, like, there's, I think, a good 200 to 300 people out there that like are very bad, caused a lot of pain to the majority of the people in America, and should be rounded up and like tossed in jail and thoroughly looked into. But I mean, that's tough to do if you try to keep things like this a secret. So that's my whole thing. Let's see. Wow, 78% yes, 22% no. If you don't mind, if you're saying no, say why. What is this? Random 8 says, thank you, Random 8. Is this an issue of commerce or religious values? What is the objective of the New World Order, the Big Reset? So it seems like there's a couple competing factions. It seems like there's always been this push for like a more centralized version of power, because like even when the the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, when they reached their heights of power, they started trying to build towards this like one world socialist system, right? And then you got the tech guys trying to build this like techno based system that would be totally different than what we have right now. So I think there's a religious element of it. Some of them are trying to push something that like fulfills like a demonic prophecy. Like I don't think it's a coincidence that the Bible warns about a one world government or a one world currency or the mark of the beast or anything like that. I think that's like all very real stuff that could be on the horizon. But I also think that there's like a control aspect to it, because I used to wonder why very, very rich people get kind of communist or kind of socialist when they get super rich, and it's because they don't want to compete anymore. Like, what's the most powerful tool out there, like as somebody who's in business, is stopping other people from selling a similar product to you, or like stopping them from competing with you. So yeah, I think the top dogs, like people who kind of form these monopolies, they want badly for competition to go away. So I think there's a money aspect to it with that. I think there's a religious aspect to it with fulfilling certain prophecies. And then I feel like there's like a optimization aspect to it too. 'Cause the technocracy thing, like I get what he's thinking, because I've often talked about how if we drive the prices down of like basic needs like food, housing, energy, transportation, you guys have heard me say this a million times, I think that it would be a much better world for the majority of people. But with what he's talking about, it's like the same language to a degree as what Yuval Harari says. Like people will just need to find a way to occupy their time. And how much patience do you think the elites are going to have for the regular people when they literally serve no purpose? Like the only purpose they served historically is labor and consumption. And when you don't need labor anymore because you have robots doing the labor, and you don't need consumption anymore because you could stimulate the economy with by producing things rather than consuming them. Like it's like a whole different goal system, because right now consumption is a big driver of the economy, but it's a very inefficient way to drive the economy. Because what is economic growth ultimately? It's like access to resources, like access to energy, to the ability to create things. So if we have like this technology that lets us build and focus on entirely different things, and like money isn't even really like a thing anymore, it's like we'll have like a different unit of value at that point, when things could be produced at a rate where like you don't need human labor to do it. I don't feel like that was a great answer to your question. I'm sorry about that. I tried to cover it from multiple angles, but that's I don't think there's one answer to that question. But I think there's multiple competing factions for a different type of big reset or great reset. What else we got? What are we at? An hour now? Let's do an hour 15. Because I do have to go to the gym tonight. Let's see. Man, it is hot in this room. I think it's like hotter in here than it is outside. Mark Eckenberg says, everyone who voted Trump is barely bothered by the signal crap. Well, yeah, Mark, I think you might have jumped in late. So it's not even that we're bothered by it. Like, yeah, if what happened was like the way that the left is spinning it, then yeah, it maybe it'd be bothersome because it'd be considered reckless. But the fact that there's like an abundance of evidence showing that this was an intelligence agency that backdoored their way into this thing and snuck this journalist in there, like that's pretty egregious, Mark. Like, did you know it's a requirement to have Signal pre-installed in government phones now? All right, that's as of 2024, advised by the was it CISA, cyber infrastructure security agency, the agency that was responsible for all the censorship we endured. They told the Biden administration to use Signal on government devices because that's the safest way to do it. So, director of the CIA, I keep forgetting this freaking guy's name. What is it? John Ratcliffe. He said day one on the job as the director of the CIA, he's got these tech guys coming in, just installing Signal on his devices without even asking. And then Mike Waltz is saying that he sent information to somebody, like sent a Signal message to somebody. Like, for example, it said sending to JD Vance, just as an example, and then it sent it to this reporter from the Atlantic. So they were able to switch what his contact said, making them think it was somebody else. That's pretty insane. And, unclassified documents from WikiLeaks came out and said that they have a way to do this. They have a way to intercept data and pigeonhole their way in there. Man, I'm ranting tonight. I'm ranting. Who saves a dress with DNA on it? That's disgusting. She had to be in with it. She had to be in with it. Yeah, I don't trust Lewinsky. Like the fact that, like, when you get busted for something like that as Clinton, it means the deep state has turned on you. Yeah, they were ready to discard him at that point. Because like these guys don't put all their eggs in one basket. Like, think about the Bush versus Clinton campaign. They didn't care who won. It was one CIA guy versus another CIA guy. You kidding me? The only person they definitely didn't want to win was Ross Perot. And that's probably an interesting thing to look into one day, is like who encouraged Ross Perot to run for president at that point. I mean, maybe it was just a smart strategic move by Clinton. What else we got in the chats? So the journalist got brought into this by them making it appear that he was one of the contacts they were trying to send the information to. So, like, imagine you're going to send your brother a text or something, and like it's his name, his number, you're looking at it, you send the text, and the text goes to me, and then like, whoops, like you sent it to Brandon, like, what do you mean? Like, it said my brother on here, but like now it doesn't say that anymore. That's essentially what happened to him. So crazy freaking situation. Oh yeah, I saw Catherine Marr in the news cycle today. What the hell's going on with her? Let me take these things off. What's going on with Catherine Marr? Yes, Steve, Obama is gay. We know. I just want to put it out there that I tuned out of Reagan episode, typical I know, or Rogan episode. Once I found this, I usually switch over from Tim Arrow, which I know Brandon will appreciate. Thank you. Yeah, I do appreciate that. We are trying to overtake Timcast. One day at a time. Thank you again, Random 8. He says, thank you so much for answering my question. Thank you for sharing deeper truths for we Americans to digest. God bless you and everyone in this chat. That's very nice, Random 8. God bless you too. And I encourage all of you guys to take a look on over at the Forbidden Book Society in the Minnect app, because we have a really cool group of 23 people already, and I mean, I'm so excited every day that I see like these guys, because I go through this book and then they're like taking new angles on it, things I didn't even consider. So it's like a real like like we're like our own intelligence network. It's pretty sick. I'm trying to transfer the information of at least 50 books to the minds of you guys this year, with requiring only 5% of the time it would take. So basically like several college degrees. Not on paper, but in your mind. He does no real research, just reads some bullshit news articles, cries things crystal. Who's this in response to? I'm curious who Steve was responding to. I miss a lot of things in here, you know. I wish there's a better way to freaking keep track of this chat. But see, this is like the cool part about this being a smaller show right now, because I like imagine how difficult it'll be to keep like track of the chat and who's responding to who when this gets much bigger. All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. What else we got? Any good ones? I got a degree from Common Sense University. That's right. That's right. And let's call this one Next Level U. Next Level University. Brandon Steele, you're getting more built. Thank you, Winnipeg. I'm trying. That's where I'm heading to the gym after this. No matter what time it is. As much as of a know-it-all, always right narcissist Tim can be. No, I thought you were talking about me at first. I was gearing up, getting ready to respond to that. That's funny. As much of a know-it-all, always right narcissist Tim can be. He did figure out the podcast conversation formula. Who the F would put Ian on, not knowing what that turned into? LOL. Are you talking about Ian Crossland or Ian Carroll? I think you're talking about Ian Crossland. Yeah, no, they have a good setup there. Like I don't hate their podcast. It was a good podcast. I listened to it for a long time, and Tim just Tim is arrogant. I mean, I'm not revealing any state secrets. It became public information. Like he asked for a freaking private jet when we invited him to come on the show. Like settle down, buddy. Down. Take it easy. Sorry about that. I jumped out for a second. Let's make sure the audio's right. Can you hear me? All right. I hit the back button on the StreamYard by accident, but I think we're all good. Am I back? Give me confirmation that I'm back. Are we good? Are we good? Let's see. I'll look on my phone. I think we're good. Are we good? Yep. Okay. All right. So Monica Wall says, what do you think about Lindsey Graham? I think Lindsey Graham is like bleh, gross. I think he's probably gay. I think he loves war and death. I think he will say anything he needs to say to stay in power. Like I mean, just like what he was saying about Trump before he gets elected, when it was looking like Trump was like an underdog, didn't have a chance of winning. Look at what he was saying about Zelensky and Ukraine before it became unpopular to have that position. And then like what he was saying after Zelensky left the White House. I think Lindsey Graham is a demon, very, very nasty person. like you look into his eyes, and I think those are the eyes of somebody who doesn't have a soul, like a Frank Underwood House of Cards type of person. But it's very strange to me that Trump came out and had such a like love vest type of quote about him today, or a post on Truth Social after he blasted Thomas Massie. Like, I wasn't a big fan of that. And then today Trump comes out, or let me pull this up actually. Humberto sent this to me earlier today, and he's like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, what the hell is that? Yeah, not a fan of Lindsey Graham. Not a fan of Lindsey Graham at all. Let me take a screenshot of this so I could share it. Yeah, I think he loves war. I think he loves penis. I think he will say whatever he needs to say to get what he wants. So yeah, I don't think he's somebody who should be a congressman. Not one bit. And here I'm going to show you this truth from this truth post. Where is it? This is what he said today. This is what Trump said today about Lindsey Graham. I didn't like it. I did not like it. So he goes, Senator Lindsey Graham is working incredibly hard for the great people of South Carolina, a state I love and won big in 2016, 2020, and 2024. Lindsey has been a wonderful friend to me and has always been there when I needed him. That's not true, Trump. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? He is not. He is not. He wasn't there for you in 2016. He wasn't there for you in 2020. He wasn't there for you, like, basically right up until it was easy to be there for you, until like everybody else was there for you. Like, he was the last person to be there for you when you look at it and break it down. He's being way too friendly, way too many people. I mean, I get that you need people on your side to make things happen, but you also need to route out the snakes. And Lindsey Graham's a snake. As the chair of the Senate Budget Committee, Lindsey is fighting tirelessly to grow the economy, lower taxes, and eliminate government waste. Lindsey is relentlessly focused on helping us secure the border, stop migrant crime, strongly support government and our great military. Yes, promotes support. Yeah, you get it. American energy dominance. So yeah, Trump is liking Lindsey these days. I'm not so much. That's okay. We could disagree on that, but I get it. He doesn't have a lot of time, so he's trying to be nice to Mike Johnson. He's trying to be nice to Lindsey Graham. He's trying to be nice to what's that guy's name? That was the head of the Senate Intelligence Committee that Tucker called out the other day. Shit. What was his freaking name? Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. The head of the Senate Intel Committee. Whatever. But yeah, to answer your question, Monica, I'm not a fan of Lindsey Graham. How about you? Yeah, Tom Cotton. Thank you, Andrew. Tom Cotton. Boom. Andrew is also in the Forbidden Book Society, and Andrew is a G. He's already brought my attention to a lot of really cool things. So that is another reason to get on in there. Like, you're gonna learn a lot from the people aside from me. Like, I deeply appreciate people that know things that I don't know. So I try to surround myself with them as much as possible. Denise says Trump is trolling Lindsey Graham, might be trying to kill with kindness and pull the chair out from under them. Possible. Like, I could be totally wrong about all the things I'm complaining about with Trump. Totally open to that. I'm totally open to that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just antsy for a lot of these things. Maybe I'm just lacking patience. I mean, because he was going really fast for a while there. The first 60 days, he's slowed down a bit. I don't know. You're probably right. Isn't that how all DC works? Blackmail, dirt, and leverage. I'm becoming increasingly convinced. Oh, totally. Like, even if you don't join the freaking group, pseudo Swede, even if you don't join the group in circles and read the book along with us, like you should get it yourself and look into it. I mean, it really makes the world make a lot more sense. And I don't think Whitney Webb is partisan. Like sometimes it feels like she's partisan, especially against Trump. But I think she also criticizes the other side just as much. So I think she's just like generally critical of everybody. And I mean, she is a bit black-pilled, which is unfortunate because I don't like to like take on that mindset where like there's nothing you could do about anything, everything's gonna go bad, all doom and gloom. I'm not a fan of that, so I don't subscribe to that thought process. I think she's there a little bit, but it's okay. She has a lot of good information. All right. What time are we at right now? We are at 1:15. Guys, we still have 188. Let's see where the poll's at. Let's see where it's at. 85% say I should, in fact, release the Epstein video. Only 88 votes, guys. What? Come on, we have 158 in the chat. Hit that vote. Hit the like button and hit the vote button. We've got to get at least 100 people to vote. Come on. All right. Went down a little bit. Come on, vote. Either whether it's yes or no, I don't care. I'm just curious about your opinion. We need at least 100 before I sign off. And I am trying to sign off in a couple of minutes because it's pretty hot in here. It's 11. I gotta go to the gym still. But it's okay. Those are small problems. I'm just curious what you guys think. So hit that vote button. And while you're at it, hit the link to the Forbidden Book Society right above it in the pinned comment if that's something that appeals to you. All right, so we're at 91 now. Come on, guys. There's 158 in the chat, and we have 91 votes. Come on. Hit the vote button. All right. Gym time. That's right, Crypto Carpenter. You too? Yes, Steve. Thank you. You're the man. Hit that like button. I understand him quite well. Who understands who? They want to make a city a smart city. Every city a smart city, but it will be a smart prison. We will not be able to leave the only 1% leave only of the. We will not be able to leave only the. All right. I love when people write things that are like aren't grammatically correct, and then like I feel like I can't read because that's where I was like, wow, I must be freaking gassed right now if I can't read this thing. But I think yeah, you're off a little bit. So you say we will not be able to leave. Only of the 1% can come and go. The ones that don't take the mark of the beast. Yeah, I get what you're saying, and yeah, no, I think you're right. I think you're right, and I don't care how many podcasts Gavin Newsom does with people from the right. I still think that you are building a smart city, Gavin, and you're not going to fool me. So, I mean, and the optics of that too is hilarious. Him just starting up a podcast in the middle of the city still being in a freaking ash heap. Let's see. Do we have 100 yet? 98. We got 98. Come on. Let's get 100. Let's get 100. 100 votes. Let's get it. Come on. Let me go to the gym. Come on. I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you for me to have the ability to go to the gym. Come on. Set me free. We're just going to hang out here at 98, 99. Okay. All right. You voted no, but that's okay. I respect it. Come on, let's get 100. Can we get 100? Can we get 100? Can we get 100? We're just going to, like, I'll show you what I'm looking at right now. Oh, we got it. We got 100. Oh, we went up to 101 and then 2. You guys unvoted. Okay, we're at 101 now. 83% say yes. So, unless some kind of crazy unforeseen event happens, I will release it because you guys are the boss and gotta give people what they want. And it's true stuff. It's not an easy conversation, but that's what we do here. We have difficult conversations because what's the point of anything if we don't do that? All right, guys, this has been a lot of fun. I think if we could get it a little bit less hot in this room, I might be able to do let me start again. I think if we could get it a little bit less hot in this room, I could do this every night. Don't take my word for that, but I'm gonna try to make that happen. Maybe we'll do this tomorrow night. Let's try to do this tomorrow night. I'm gonna try to get it going earlier. And yes, but it's been a blast. I like this style. I like this format. Remember, if you want to get to know me and the crew better, and you want to download the information from these books in 5% of the time, check out the Forbidden Book Society on Minnect in the Forbidden Book Society circle. You will not regret it. Just ask the guys. Much love, guys. I will see you later. To the members of the Forbidden Book Society, I will be dropping a video soon, within the hour. Much love. Goodbye, goodbye.
You know, we talk about the deep state, we talk about the globalists, inflation versus deflation.
Well, I mean,
You're at Mar-a-Lago.
I'm baffled that this isn't front page news.
Do you guys support a specific political party, or do you dislike both of them?
Oh, it worked like a charm on you guys.
Let's go, Brandon.